So tell me how you've been since the last time I saw you.
Well, things were going really, really good for like the last 6 months that I've been coming here, but last 2 weeks have been a little rough.
Okay. You want to tell me about that?
Well, I've relapsed.
Okay.
Um, things just got a little much.
Okay, so it sounds like something led up to your relapse. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's more than one thing that's
Okay.
led up to it. Um, I guess we can just kind of start with. I mean, we've talked a little bit about mom before in our
Yeah.
past sessions,
Yeah.
but it's really, really difficult. I have a problem. She has a problem.
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to not be around her, but at the same time, it's hard to be around her. Um,
You said she was in treatment before. Is she still in treatment?
yeah, she's still in treatment, but she doesn't really follow guidelines. Like I do what I'm supposed to do. She does not. A lot of, I guess you could say, misuse.
Okay, so she misuses her medication.
Yes, quite frequently actually. So that makes you second guess because I'd like to be misusing mine too, but I can't.
All right.
And so at the same time, I don't want to not be around her, but it's hard to be around those situations.
All right. So does she misuses her medication in front of you?
Yeah, here and there, and it's not really that I see it a whole lot. It's a lot based on her telling me that, and I mean when you are there and you see it, then you know it's happening after you
Mhm.
leave too.
Right.
So
Because have you ever tried to talk to her about it?
I've tried, but it's my medication. It's prescribed. That's all that matters.
Have you told her how you feel about it?
I have. I tell her that it's hard on me, but again, you know, she doesn't really care. It's more of how she's feeling, how it's making her feel. She's getting something from it. She's going to keep doing it.
Okay. So you feel like she's a trigger for you?
She can be, that's for sure. And I think that that's part of what's led up to this relapse is it's definitely been a trigger. Is her being around it, I guess, being around her.
Yeah.
It's just stressful knowing the potential of something happening to her is there.
Right. Okay, so in the last 6 months, you were able to maintain your sobriety up until this past week. Okay, so when during that 6 month time frame, how were you able to refrain from using when you were around her?
Well, I didn't go around her as much.
Okay.
Um, it's my mom. I miss her. So I've just been here recently because I felt strong enough. 6 months is a big, big mark. We talked about that a little bit before. That's a good goal to reach. But at the same time, I've started trying to go around her a little bit more, and it's not working out as much.
Okay. Okay, so was it just being around her that led you to the relapse, or was there something else?
No, I mean, there's family trouble, the stress,
What's going on with your family?
daily stressors. I mean,
The last time you said that you were trying to rebuild your trust, or their trust, is that going any better? Are you getting anywhere with that, or?
a little bit, a little bit. I mean, the breaking of the trust didn't happen all in one day. I keep thinking about what we've talked about rebuilding. It's not going to be too easy to do, that it's going to be a process. But, you know, 6 months clean was a big moment and a big I told you so type deal. And then here it is, I've kind of just thrown it away.
Well, yeah.
So,
And two, building trust, especially whenever you've been using for 4 years and you've lost a lot of trust with your family, with your friends, with everyone around you, it's going to take a long time. 6 months is a long time for you to be sober, but it's going to take a lot longer for you to completely build that trust back up.
yeah, I mean, you name it, I've done it. You know, you hear all these stories. It's your typical stereotype use.
Yeah.
So, you name it, I've done it. So, rebuilding it, you know, it's a process. I've been a lot more open. I'm trying to talk more, you know, tell them how I'm feeling. You asked about Mom a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to tell her, but it doesn't work. Trying to rebuild the relationship, but she's not meeting me halfway. You know, my other family members, you know, a lot of them are real supportive, but at the same time, the ones you want to be supportive aren't.
Yeah.
You know, it's just definitely the trust. I feel like I've earned it, but then again, at the same time, it's kind of, I've made this much progress. When will they trust me again?
Right. Okay, so it sounds like you're really disappointed in yourself for your relapse.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing good for 6 months, but I mean, stuff's just happened and it's caught me off guard.
What kind of stuff happened?
Well, I found out that my husband's been having an affair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can see how that would bring about some feelings and make you want to relapse.
Well, it was, you know, what really just frustrates me is the fact that I started treatment to help my marriage.
Right.
And now it's almost as if I've done this for nothing. I mean, I've 6 months I started the treatment to help improve my marriage, and I've been doing great. I've been talking, I mean, you name it, I've been doing it, and here it is.
You started to feel better about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've looked at it as, I say that I started treatment to help improve my marriage, but the truth is as times went on, I realized that, you know, of course I needed it, and it's helped me.
Right.
You know, and I don't like to look at it as I was doing it just for that, because it turned into I wasn't.
Right.
However, it's kind of like a big slap in the face. You know, I'm putting in all this effort and trying, and then he goes and cheats on me.
Yeah. I understand that.
I didn't want to feel that.
Right. Well, I know that you're disappointed in yourself, but you've done so well in the past 6 months. That's something to be very proud of. You were able to maintain sobriety. You were able to make a tremendous amount of progress. You were able to find a job in the last 6 months. Your marriage was improving. You weren't arguing as much. You were able to regain your friends' trust back. Not the ones that you used with, but the ones that didn't and lost their trust in you after you started using.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something to be very proud of. All right, so tell me about your disappointment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your disappointment? 10 being the most disappointed, or 1 being the least? You sound pretty disappointed in yourself.
Let's see, because I guess we can look at it as 2 ways. Disappointed and relapsing, you know, that's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I have done so well. disappointed in where I've come from to where I am. Maybe a 5.
Okay, so what would you say your disappointment is at this moment?
At this moment, it's pretty much a 10 for relapsing.
For the relapse. Okay, so what step could you take? Just one. Doesn't have to be a huge step. One small step. What step could you take to bring that from a 10 down to a 9?
I guess I've already done one step if by coming in
That's true.
and admitting that I've done it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it again. Not doing it again is a big one, because once you start back, it's hard to stop again.
Right. Okay, so you said before how your mom can be a trigger for you.
Yeah.
And you also said that you had found ways to kind of help cope with that trigger, kind of like refrain. You quit seeing her as much to help you stay on track and refrain from using because she provokes you to want to use.
Yeah.
Okay, so are there any other triggers that you can recognize that make you want to use?
Well, of course, being around the old saying, people, places, things type deal. Of course, the people. I just, that feeling of this whole affair, I guess is how you can look at it, has really thrown a monkey wrench into the wheel because of the fact, now I'm starting to question myself. Like, what was wrong with me?
Right.
So,
was there ever a time in your marriage, well, obviously you got married for a reason, you loved each other, right? So, why don't you tell me what that looked like before things started going south and getting bad for you and your husband? What did it look like at a good time in your marriage?
Well, at a good time in our marriage, everything was fine. It was, recreational use here and there if we want to look at substance use, but it wasn't anything major. And then...
How was your relationship? Like, what?
The relationship was good. We talked, we had fun, we just went and done stuff and spent time with each other.
And your son, you said you have a son too, right? How was that?
When he was born, everything was still going great. We done the family thing. We had him around, your typical, backyard barbecues, going out, all the little things. But then, as time progressed, I wasn't as involved because obviously my use kind of drug me around the chase.
Yeah.
But, things these past 6 months has been really good. I haven't had to go chase with, my medication being written out and stuff. I haven't had to go for the chase. Finances, I didn't have him yelling about money and things. Finances was great. Well, not great, but livable again, because I wasn't buying it off the street. So, things I thought was really improving, but then found out.
So what do you think changed other than your use? Was there a lack of communication between you two?
There was. It was, he had said before that he felt like he couldn't talk to me.
Okay.
I wasn't home, or when I was home, he was at work. He felt like he couldn't talk to me without it being an argument. I'm sure that's true. If he didn't give me what I wanted, then I threw a fit because I didn't want to be sick.
Okay.
So, then I started the program, and now I don't have to worry about being sick. So we actually started talking, and I was at home, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe me being at home was a problem.
Okay. So, you said before that you entered treatment so that you could work on your marriage.
Yeah.
Since this has happened,